Taylor Swift kicked off the UK leg of her sellout Eras tour in style in Edinburgh with a flawless 3.5-hour showstopper of a performance in which she told screaming fans, "What a way to welcome a lass to Scotland." Taylor Swift kicked off the UK leg of her sellout Eras tour in style in Edinburgh with a flawless 3.5-hour showstopper of a performance in which she told screaming fans, "What a way to welcome a lass to Scotland." The 34-year-old megastar drove fans wild on Friday night as she emerged at Murrayfield Stadium in her signature blue and gold sequined leotard following a riotous warm-up from American pop-punk band Paramore. Over the course of 46 songs, Taylor shook off a cramp in her hand, witnessed a live proposal, gifted a fan her hat, and even suspended a tune so fans could receive medical aid. And in between those events found time for an almost insurmountable 12 costume changes. Among the outfits were including a double-breasted black and gold pinstripe blazer dress, a white Vivienne Westwood dress, and a stunning lilac gown complete with train. Fans queued for hours, some as early as 3 a.m., in order to be the first inside for the gig, which kicked off following Paramore's set at exactly 7:18 p.m. Excitement built to fever pitch with a 2-minute countdown on the big screen before Taylor finally emerged from a stage, which rose dramatically into the air in the middle of the stadium to hysterical screams from fans. Taylor started out with 2019 tune Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, and as she took in the adoration of thousands of fans she had in the palm of her hand, she almost seemed overwhelmed by the response. Between songs, she paused to tell them, "What a way to welcome a lass to Scotland. You've gone and made me feel so amazing. You've got me feeling really, really powerful." Towards the end, she vowed, "We have to do this again." And as she rounded out the monster 3.5-hour set with Karma, fireworks shot out from the top of the stage, lighting fixtures within the grounds and the roof of the stadium itself, prompting an avalanche of cheers from fans. The sellout show saw her run through a cavalcade of hits including Cruel Summer, Lover, You Belong With Me, Love Story, and 22, which saw her hand a fedora hat to a young fan in the audience, as is tradition at each show, within the first hour alone, before moving on to later eras in her illustrious career. Ms. Swift also said she had made history, with last night's Murrayfield gig having the highest attendance of any stadium show the country has ever seen. She told the crowd, "I have not been in Scotland for almost a decade now, and I was wondering what it was going to be like when we go back to visit there. How are they going to be as a crowd? And do you know what? You kind of answered me before I even got on stage. I had someone pull me aside and say, 'Hey, we've checked this 20 times and we swear tonight's concert is the most highly attended stadium show in Scottish history.'" And in a nod to her Scottish audience, she gave backing dancer Cameron Saunders the opportunity to say "Ni chance" as she performed "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together." She later drove the native fans wild after telling them lockdown-era album Folklore was inspired by their home country. In remarks reported by BBC News, she said, "There was so much TV, so much white wine covered in cat hair. That was my reality. So I thought, I'm going to create an imaginary world and escape into it. That was folklore, and it was probably based online of videos I've seen of Scotland."